Back with another one. Welcome to the Money Space 101. I am Angelina Senoge, and this side we are building generational wealth together. If you're here for the very first time, you are welcome, and I hope that you're here to stay, especially if you're trying to accomplish your financial goals. This is the place to be, okay? And if you've been here, then thank you so much for your support, and I hope that my content has been helping you in reaching your financial goals. So if you have any recommendations or you want to talk about something specific, then please do let us know in our comment section, or do send us a DM on one of our social media platforms, being Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, and you can find us at the Money Space 101. So let us get into the video. As you can see the title, it is these are one of the best ETFs to invest in. I did actually like part 1, so this is part 2 of that series. Please do check out this video so that you can basically like just catch up on basically what we're talking about, but you can still watch this video and then just go back to the previous one to see what ETFs I was recommending in that video. But in this new video, we'll be talking about new ETFs. Listen, I'm all about plugs. I do not believe in gatekeeping. It does not exist in my vocabulary. So if that's what you're about, then you're at the right place. I invest through multiple apps. Listen, if you ask me where my money is, my money is everywhere. It literally is everywhere. But for the purpose of this video, I'll be going through the BrokStock app, which is an app that is based in South Africa, and you can basically get it on your Play Store or App Store. But to make the process easier for you and also to receive 50 Rand from you when you sign up, then please do go to the description of this video to get this platform as well. And one thing I love about BrokStock app, honestly, and I've said it in previous videos before, if you've been watching my videos, I love the fact that it is very beginner friendly, it is very investor friendly. I am not necessarily a beginner investor, but I do prefer convenience when investing. I don't want investing to feel like a job. I don't want it to feel like another task. I don't want it to be something that causes me a headache, especially in terms of like just getting a trade or just investing into something. I want it to be at complete ease. And if that's something that you're looking for, then definitely do consider BrokStock. And what I love also about them is the fact that they also give like tips, and you don't feel like you're doing it alone. You feel like there's someone holding your hand through it all. And the nice thing, which again I've said in previous videos, you don't just find one type of investment there. You can find GSE shares, you can find US shares, you can find ETFs, what I'm going to be talking about in this video. You can also find metals, which is your silver, diamond, gold, etc. You can look into it. You can also find cryptocurrency. I mean, come on, all on one platform. And you can find currencies where you can also invest in different currencies in the world, such as your Swiss franc, the dollar, the Australian dollar, the euro, pound, etc. So literally, it is so convenient, and there's so much I can say. The rest you need to experience for yourself. As I go through one of the best ETFs to invest in, I'll be going through the app, and you will see it on the side of the screen so you can follow through on your app if you're already using it. And if not, you can just watch the video and do it in your own time. And remember, guys, whatever platform that you're already using, you will be able to also find these ETFs. And if you're not able to find these ETFs, then please do comment in the comment section, and I could just maybe like help you out if maybe it's a platform that I'm familiar with in terms of you finding the specific ETFs that I'll be talking about in this video. So let us start. The first ETF, it is called ETFWD, which is an MSC. It's called MSCI World Feeder. So you're going to go to the BrokStock app, then you're going to go to the For You page. So you see that I'm busy like looking down. It's because I'm using the phone to basically go through the platform. You're going to go to the For You page. Then when you get to the For You page, you will see icons right there. Then you're going to click on the ETFs icon. And then when you get to the ETF icon, then you're going to search for ETFWLD. Made a mistake right there. It's WLD and not WD. My bad. And right there, you will find it, and you will also see the current price. So when you get to it, then you will find that it will tell you the historical return for the last 12 months, and then the recommended horizon. Recommended horizon, as I said before in the previous video, it is basically what they recommend you to invest in. So basically, it's not something that you can be like, you know what, I'm going to invest today and expect something tomorrow, or I'm going to invest today and expect something the following year. Yes, there is a possibility that it could increase, or you could have some sort of like interest like in a year, but for you to sort of like maximize the potential returns that you could get on this ETF, then preferably invest in it for 3 years and above. And then you'll find that the risk level is high. I will get into basically what that means. And then you'll get then again there the unit price. And then please do look through the ETF benefits. So this ETF, the ETF WLD, it stands for the MSCI World Feeder. And what this means is that if you are trying to invest into leading companies across the entire world, then this is the ETF to invest in. So this ETF then, it is a basket that includes leading companies in developing countries. If you have not watched my previous videos on what an ETF is, and you've probably seen this for the first time, let me just do a short recap. An ETF is basically a basket that comprises of different shares inside. So instead of you buying one share, you are buying this basket, and this basket has different shares inside. So when you buy this one ETF, you are investing in the performance of all these shares combined. And the reason why generally most beginner investors, or generally investors that do not like to do so much research, sometimes I'm like that. You don't like to do so much research, or you just want something that's just going to make your job easier as an investor, right? In you getting access to different markets. So then you would invest into something that is called an ETF. And the nice thing about it is that it basically then allows you to spread the risk. So if you're just investing into one company, obviously if that company crashes tomorrow, which means your money is gone, right? Because your money was only dependent on this one company's performance. But then if you're investing in ETF, your money is dependent on all these companies that are in this basket. So then it is the best way to diversify. And hence then when we go to the ETF benefits, the first benefit is global diversification. So then you are able then to diversify across these leading companies globally, instead of you going out to pick out, okay, fine, which one am I taking? Am I taking this company or that company? So you've saved yourself literally the entire headache of having to pick out companies. You've saved yourself the entire headache of reading into separate reports of each company for you to decide. But now with this ETF, you are able then to just draw it down to, okay, how is this ETF performing? How do all these companies perform collectively? What is the historical return of them? Historical return for the last month, the last 3 months. Listen, it's been rough, guys. Donald Trump, it's been a bit rough. As you can see, the markets, yeah, I'm saying. But then when we invest, you invest when markets are not doing well, right? So that when they pick up, you also pick up with them. But obviously, do your research first. Don't just invest just because something is going down. Understand why did it go down. And then you're going to see the last 6 months was 5%, the last year, the last 3 years, and the last 5 years. And as you can see, basically as the years progress, there is more return. And this goes back then to my point. If they say that the recommended horizon is 3 years, they have seen from the previous periods that if you wait at least 3 years, you will see, sort of a good return. You get what I'm saying? Yes, fine, you could do it in a year, you just go to 3%. It's still a profit, but is it enough? You could have just waited like 2 more years and you would have gotten like an additional 52%. You get what I'm saying? So if you're going to start investing, then you need to learn that when you have patience, it will really work in your favor. And then as you can see, then the last 5 years is over 200%. And then if you're then interested to know what is in this ETF, what companies are they? I mean, what are these leading companies? I want to know where my money is actually going. And that's again the nice thing about BrokStock, the fact that you can find each and every single thing on one app. And then you can go to the composition right there. So firstly, it will tell you like which sectors are in this ETF. You will see technology, financial services, healthcare, industrials, communication services, energy, basic materials, utilities, and real estate. So it is not just investing your money into one industry, so which then further diversifies your money and which further spreads out the risk. So it is not just dependent on how one industry does, but also on other industries. So let's say, for instance, this money was only in the industrials industry, and it just so happens that there is a whole crash in this industry, then you would potentially like make a very huge loss. But because your money is spread out across different industries, then you have more hope as an investor, if I may say that. I don't know if that exists in finance, but listen, I'm trying to make this finance content as relatable as possible. I don't want to use all these big financial jargons, but you get what I'm saying. It gives you more confidence when you're making that decision to actually purchase this ETF. Then when you go to the invest, the second tab after key information, you can see how much it is and how it has been performing over the relative periods. So you can see 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year. Usually I prefer looking at all, right? This then helps me to really make a decision, because if I'm investing for the long term. I don't really want to know how this share has been performing over the past year, because for me, a year is very short term. So definitely in 1 year, the share will be very volatile. Volatile means that it's like this, it's up and down. Like there's like ridiculous movements in a short term. So I wouldn't let that determine my decision as to if I'm buying this component or not. So when you look at the all difference, it basically shows as to when this ETF came into the markets as to now. So let us go into the second ETF. The second ETF is called EWD. So then you need to go back to the search button, and then when you search right there, you're going to type in EWD. Then you'll see it right there. Then you click on it, and that stands for MSCI Sweden. So which means that you would find Swedish companies. Plug. Plug. So as you can see right there, the same format, the historical return, the recommended horizon is also 3 years, and the risk level is high. And the unit price there again, which is currently 42 Rand 99 cent, but it may be different by the time that you watch this video, because share prices do not remain constant at all times. So they literally change every single second. So yeah, that's how it goes. And then right there, you see the last month, the last 3 months, the last 6 months, the last year, the last 3 years, and the last 5 years. And back to what I said, look at the ridiculous difference between the last year, last 3 years, and the last 5 years. Last year is like 8%. Last 3 years, it's an additional like 3%. And then last 5 years, which is like an extra 2 years, but there's like a whole 199% difference. That is crazy if you ask me. So that's why I say that rather invest for a long term, right? Do not invest to get something tomorrow. Really be patient and you will reap benefits. And you know what the Bible says? Patience is virtue. Is that from the Bible? Yeah. So then if you want to see the composition of this ETF, it's similar to the previous one where it is across different industries. So you see financials, industrials, consumer discretionary, information technology, healthcare, materials, and consumer staples. So do look into this ETF, and you can even go further and search on it right on Google. Don't just use the BrokStock app to do your research. But generally, if you ask me, BrokStock pretty much has what you need, you know. And then go then to the invest. You see then the graph right there, and as I said previously, I like to look at all because I want to see what is the change for the all time. So the change for the all time, you can see right there the percentage as well on top. Then going to number 3, this is the one that you probably know of or you probably heard of. It is called NASDAQ, and the key code for searching for this one is STX. You can say STX NDQ in the search button, and there it is. The NASDAQ 100. I'll explain what does the 100 mean. So as you can see, the same format, you see the historical return, recommended horizon, risk level is also high. So generally, all the ETFs that I have been talking about in this video, they are all high risk levels. But if you see the previous video that I did on part 1, they all had different they had different risk levels, which I also like explained, but I'll get into it right now. And then the unit price right there is just above 200 Rand. So generally, the NASDAQ 100, it comprises of the leading US companies excluding the financials industry. So meaning that you will not find banks, you will not find investment companies or anything that has to do with like it being a financial company in this ETF. So it only has other companies from other industries which are leading in the top 100. So this is what then the ETF of NASDAQ comprises of. So when you invest into this ETF, you are investing into the collective performance of all these top 100 companies that are leading in the US. So then we're going to go to the historical return, the last month, the last 3 months, the last 6 months, the last year, the last 3 years, the last 5 years. Listen, I keep repeating this part because I want you to see the power of patience. Like when I see this, I see power of patience. I see the power of waiting. You need to learn to wait if you're going to start investing. You should not see it as something like an emergency fund where, okay, I'm investing, then if something happens, I'm dipping into it, I'm using it for something else. When you invest, that money no longer belongs to you. It'll only belong to you again in 5 years' time. Like put that to yourself, like, no, I'm not taking it out. Because then if you do that, it defeats the purpose of you actually seeing the impact of investing. And as you can see that it literally has performed like so much over the past 5 years compared to like 3 years. So if you just waited for 2 more years after 3 years, you could have literally gotten to so much returns. And then if you want to see then the composition of this ETF, you'll find that the companies that you know of, like your Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, which I'll talk about very soon. It's a company that has to do with like AI, and Meta, and Google, Tesla, Adobe, etc. So going back to explain the high risk level. So the reason why all of these 3 ETFs are high risk level is because the composition of all of them, right, has to do with shares that are leading in developed economies. So generally companies that are leading, they generally perform above the market. Performing above the market is that when you are to take all the companies in the market and compare it as to how this one specific company is performing, you would find that this company is performing above the overall market. So this then what makes this company risky. So generally, if you're going to invest in an ETF that has only leading companies, then you would find that this ETF as well will perform above the market. And because it performs above the market, this makes it high risk. This is why all these 3 ETFs that I mentioned, they are high risk level. Then maybe you're interested to know what is happening, with the NASDAQ. Is there something that they're reporting to do with like the companies that are in it? Is there something that investors or analysts are saying about it? Then you can go to the news section. Also, again, another feature I love about BrokStock. So next to invest, click on the news part. And then when you go to the news, you will see then there is one thing, this like sell in May and go away. And also those articles are not long to read. They're literally like 2 minutes of your time and you know so much. If you want to buy, you click on it, you go to invest, and then you click on the buy. And then after saying buy, then you will select how much you want to buy of this. So the volume, maybe you want to buy 2 of it, then it will give you the price as to how much you should spend on it. And then let's say maybe you only have, for me, I only have 11 Rand 68 cents in my available funds. So then maybe you're gonna use this 11 Rand and see if it's gonna allow you to buy. But it does not. So you need to have like the exact value. So when coming to ETFs, you need to have at least a price for 1 unit. So then in this case, then you can buy 2, you can buy 3, but then you cannot buy like 0.5 or 0.6, if you get what I'm saying. But for shares, you can. But for ETFs on BrokStock, you cannot do that at the moment. Those are the top 3 ETFs, and I hope that you learned much. And if you have any questions, please do drop them down in the comment section. Even if it's not necessarily related to what I was talking about or something just came to mind, then do ask me below and I will get back to you. So yeah, let's invest, guys. Let's invest our way up. I am really so passionate about investment, and I think it's time. It's time that we refuse to be left behind. I don't want to be left behind. And the reason why I am here doing what I do is because I also don't want you to be left behind. So yeah, see you in the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to receive notifications from us when we release a new video. Bye. See you on the flip side of wealth.